Hey, welcome to another episode of It's a Football Thing. As always, I'm your host, RJ, and we're joined by the two legendary co-hosts, Scott the Goon and Rob the Red Devil. How are we, gents?
Bad evening.
Robbie, you look a bit happier, mate.
Viva Ronaldo! Viva Ronaldo, baby! He's back.
Excellent. I love the response. And in case you have been sleeping for the last 24 hours or last 12 hours even, you would have missed the monumental transfer that is the one and only CR7, Cristiano Ronaldo, back to Manchester United. We were talking between us saying, is this going to ruin his United legacy when he goes and plays for the Citizens? But little did we know he took a private plane to the other side of Manchester where many Red Devils think he belongs. So, Robbie, I can see you're buzzing there, mate. Why don't you talk us a little bit through it?
Boys, honestly, I'm still a bit speechless and I can't actually believe it's happened, to be honest, mate. I just woke up. You guys messaged me. I just woke up. I had a little nap. I didn't go to bed till 2:30 yesterday morning. Obviously, with all the tweets going on and following all the coverage and the news as it unfolded, man, as a United fan, it's just must have been what Boogie felt like when Henri came back at that time. And like I said, I'm speechless, man. I'm so excited. Does it make sense, this signing? For me, no, it doesn't make sense. And you could nearly say this is a signing that could have, just to do it so City didn't get him, which, yes, it would have killed his legacy. But mate, I don't think there's going to be one Man United fan out there that's going to be complaining that Cristiano Ronaldo is going to be in the United fan back at Old Trafford scoring goals again, mate.
Scotty, I can tell you're deflated. You've seen Chelsea buy Lukaku. You've seen United buy, best attacking player, best defender, best wide man. And then Arsenal, they have increased their depth. I'll give them credit. But how do you feel knowing that your rivals continue to widen the gap from where you guys are? Seriously, what are you thinking?
We've had Fabrizio Romano on the show before, and he gave me a call not long before we started. He sent me some live footage from the Emirates. I'm just going to chuck it up on the screen. This is an IFT international exclusive, so feel free to clip it. Some action from the Emirates right now. That's what's going on.
That too much is happening there.
That's the footage from the Emirates at this point, unfortunately, because it's kind of like being the kid in class, right? So I've been that kid in class and everyone gets invited to the really cool birthday party and you're just kind of sitting there hoping that half the people call in sick and you get a sympathy invite. That's how it feels at the moment. But, I'm just going to put out there, if I hear a Manchester United fan complaining about their owners, complaining about the Glazers, yeah, you've lost me because, quite frankly, you've literally just signed one of the greatest players of all time to prevent your rivals from signing him. I don't believe it was someone that at the start of the window they said, we're going to plan, we're going to get Ronaldo. He's someone that we really need in this team. But when it got close, when push came to shove, they have absolutely flexed on Man City. So congratulations to Man United fans. I wish you absolutely no success, but it's just a massive flex. And that's great ownership. That's an owner who's ambitious. I don't want to hear any complaints about the Glazers. None.
Mate, I'm stepping in straight away, mate, about the Glazers, all right? I told you this deal is a great deal, but it's a crazy deal, okay? Do we need this deal? Is this deal going to – everyone straight away, Ronaldo's coming, we're going to win the title. You will not hear that come out of my mouth, okay?
Until you win it.
This whole transfer window, we've been screaming out for a defensive midfielder, okay? That is a big hole in our team. The ones Neves have been linked to, Saul have been linked to, nothing crazy, 30, 40, 50 million. In 10 hours, Ronaldo was at City and moving from Juventus. Next minute, he's on our doorstep, signed and everything in 10 hours. The whole transfer window, we've been asking for a CDM, someone that we need to strengthen the team, and nothing's happened. So, yes, they've got a couple of days. You never know. They might go out and try and get someone on
Mate, if you get another signing, you are absolutely spoilt fans, mate. You should put up photos of the Glazers in your bedrooms, at the front of your house, have little Glazer photos hanging off your dash.
This is a Glazer signing, mate. It's a marketing signing, okay? And
do you want to send him back?
What's that?
Do you want to send him back?
Of course, I'm not going to send him back, mate. This
Good
is
signing,
he's
man.
back. He's the last dance. But we're absolutely stacked up front, and mate, I think he will do good. I really do. But Cavani, now Ronaldo, we've got Mason Greenwood, we've got Sancho, we've got Rashford, we've got Martial. We've got so many players there, which is great. But at the end of the day, Fred and McTominay are sitting in that two pivots. We need someone that's going to come in and let everyone up front have the firepower. And it sounds great. It looks great.
I need to ask you, Rob. I need to know from your perspective, because I agree. We said offline, you look a little bit light in that DM area, which is similar to our situation, to be honest. But with Ronaldo coming in now, and you just named all of the quality forwards that United are blessed to have, do you see any possibility that any of these ones go out as a result of that, or is it just another complement to the already stacked area up top?
Definitely, for me, my opinion, yes. I was talking to a few of the boys in our little United chat today, and that's the first thing. The main guy that won't be sleeping tonight is Anthony Martial. For me, I think he's a very high chance. And another one I didn't mention in those the people about Jesse Lingard as well. This is a perfect opportunity now. Someone like a Jesse Lingard. I said we had arguments with Scotty. I said 25, 30 million, give him to West Ham. I know his wages are high, but mate, if he goes out the window, that's pretty much, we just paid 20 million for Ronaldo. I know he's going to be on astronomical wages, but that'll pay for that transfer. And then even get out someone, even if it's a loan for Anthony Martial, he's going to be sitting on the bench. That is falling down the pecking order. I said Rashford's not there at the moment because he had his surgery, but he just come in the next 4 or 5 weeks. He'll be back. We just bought Jadon Sancho in, so he's going to be a starter. Mason Greenwood looks amazing, young talent. It's going to be great for him to be under people like Cavani and Ronaldo learning his trade. So people like Anthony Martial and your Jesse Lingard, mate, Donny van de Beek can't get in the team in midfield at the moment. So where are they going to go?
It's going to be interesting, Robbie, to me. And I kind of want to touch on something. And big ups to all the people in the live chat. My man Andrew Beverley, we connected on Twitter today. I know it's about 3 a.m. in the States for him. He's in the US, and he said to me, "I'm looking for a great place to chat football with some great fans." I said, "This is the place to be." But Robbie, I want to put a bit of heat on you, man, because I know what you're like. Like you're a very fair fan. Okay, you're very fair. Most Man United fans are not as fair or generally gracious as you, but you keep trying to deflect from the fact that you guys now, adding one of the greatest players of all time, are title contenders. To me, your squad is better than Manchester City's squad. I actually think if he was the difference, he's one of the best players of all time. You now are title contenders. Your squad, to me, you and Chelsea have the best squads. City and Liverpool not far behind. I know you want a DM, but look at every team, even your best teams, have a little bit of an area that's lacking something. Like City don't have a striker. Okay, Liverpool, they definitely don't have much squad depth whatsoever. Arsenal, we lack everything. I just wanted to chuck us in there. But every team has to lack something. You can't be that spoiled that you guys get a world-class DM as well.
No, look.
Are you title contenders?
We should be title contenders on paper, okay? I had this argument with RJ last year when they had their FIFA pro club and stuff, and they bought how many players? I think Chelsea bought 7, 8 players last year, and I said that we said
that in the transfer ban, by the way.
Yeah. I'm just saying how many players came in last year, right? A lot. And we said straight away, you guys look at this team, a lot of class players. And you know what? What you said back was a responsible answer. You said, okay, you can throw as many players in, but it doesn't take overnight for these players to get chemistry, okay? Sancho's come in, Varane's come in that we haven't even seen yet. Like I said, Ronaldo's coming back. A lot of people have got this thing in their head. Ronaldo's coming back. People think this is Ronaldo from 5-10 years ago. Ronaldo is top class. I'm also a Juve fan, so I've watched him over the past few. He will score goals. I guarantee. My biggest thing I'm happy that Ronaldo's come in is that another big leader's come in. With a winner has come in because there's not a lot of winners in that team. Now we've got Varane, World Cup winner and multiple Champions League winner. We've got Pogba, World Cup winner, and we've got Ronaldo as a talisman. He's got leadership. He's got experience. That's the big thing that I think is great for the rest of the team. A winner that's coming in is going to be at the top. For me, he plays in the number 9 position. I just want him in the box with his aerial threat. He's a finisher. He's got the aerial threat, like I said, and he'll score goals. We will create chances. We've got, like I said, your Jadon Santos that'll get him service. You got your Bruno Fernandes and Pogba's of the world that'll get him service. But I told you, I'm still a little bit worried about that defensive midfielder. I know you said you can't have a perfect team, but to win a title, team, okay? He's another piece of the puzzle, but I don't think he is the piece of the puzzle that's going to say, yes, we're going to go and win the title. Yes, we should definitely be in a title contender. I was nearly going to say we should be in a title contention without Ronaldo, okay? But then, like I said, we don't know what's going to happen in the rest of this window.
Yeah.
From when I said it, Chelsea went out and got your Lukaku. Okay, yes, we've gone out and got Ronaldo now, which I think is great. But like I said, I still don't think I don't think Fred is going to get us a title at the end of the day, okay? So, yes, it's going to be cover in different positions to hopefully get us there. But the main thing Ronaldo brings is experience and like that really mentality of winning.
That's actually a very good point, Rob, and nice segue to this point that I had, and I think we might have mentioned it earlier in a tweet, and Optus Sports put out that, Ronaldo's back in, does that increase their chances of becoming title favourites? And my response was, and to your point about experience with Varane coming in, Ronaldo's a perennial winner, been there, done that. He motivates and inspires those around him. The question of experience now, for me, transfers away from the players to the manager. Does he now have the experience and nous to be able to get the best from those new players he's brought in? Because I agree with the sentiment of, in that engine room, the DM is a very critical part that connects the back to the front. But this could be one of those cases where even if you are a bit defective there, you might just go and outscore teams 5-4 for most parts of the matches because you are a little bit weak there. But on Ollie specifically, do you think he's going to be able to manage Ronaldo, not just in terms of his on-field credentials, but do you think around how he's going to handle Cristiano Ronaldo as the specimen beyond the 90 minutes?
If I'm being honest with that, I think that's actually going to be – I'm not worried about that, if I'm being honest. I think Ollie is going to have a lot more pressure in general now as a title contender because Ronaldo's come in. But as I'm going to – me personally looking – I'm going to be saying this is going to be the situation how Ronaldo was when Zidane got named the manager. Right? Everyone knows Zidane was never a manager. He inherited one of the best teams in the world at Real Madrid, and they won 4 Champions Leagues nearly in a row. What did he do? He acted nearly pretty much like one of the boys, and let everyone and all their individual talents win that for him. For me, he's going to put his arm over everyone's shoulder. He's going to say, do what you do. And I'm hoping he's just going to do the little things that he hasn't been doing, like your substitutions. Or, like you said, when we went against this last game, I hope he's not going to go into a game against Southampton again with 2 defensive midfielders. They're the little tweaks he's got to have. But in general, I honestly can see a relationship, how Zidane was with Real Madrid, how he's just going to go out, let them play. I don't think it's going to be a big character like clashes in the playing room, man. I think there's going to be a lot of good relationships.
So I think that's the way he has to handle it because, quite frankly, he doesn't have the managerial nous. He doesn't have the knowledge or the experience or the reputation, in my opinion, to command the respect of a Cristiano Ronaldo.
That's exactly the same as Zidane. When Zidane took over Real Madrid, he had nothing like that as well. He just went over there he was nearly like a teammate in the change room and just let him go with it. So, I think that'll be similar.
I still think, Robbie, I think Zidane had a little bit more tactically and managerially about him than Ollie does.
Why? He never managed before.
Yeah, but
what about credibility? I'd actually argue credibility in the sense of he's done a lot more in the game than what Ollie's done, even though he was an old boy. Zidane's one of the very best to have played the game. So I think when Zidane's talking, he gets a lot more people listening because he's genuinely done it all. Whereas Ollie, and correct me if I'm wrong, I felt he was more of a really impact super sub that was part of a great squad, never really cemented his place as one of the better United players during that golden era.
When you talk
he's a club legend at the end of the day, man. So I still will be the same impact for me anyway. Yes, Zidane was a world class and a world superstar, but at the end of the day, Ollie is a Manchester United legend, and he'll earn that same respect for me.
It's a fair call, and to me, like I said, I don't think Ollie's the person to manage him, but I mean that probably gives hope to the other teams challenging with you. We're not one of them, but I could see it potentially. A couple of bad results if he doesn't kind of hit gear. I could see a
100%.
potential clash. But Tom's just put a really good comment in the live chat that Ronaldo and Solskjaer did play together. They were teammates. So I think that could help him. He could potentially be a really powerful ally for Solskjaer, who galvanizes the support and brings any potential disruptions together to support him. Or I could say, I mean, look, you've seen Robbie, even the way he kind of, the going got a little bit tough at Juve and he's just gone. He's at this point in his career, he's not there to muck around. Like
100%. I told you, I've said to you the other day, as both, I actually think now Juve will be better off without him, because if we're going to be straight honest with it, if you look at his time at Juve, yes, he's won titles, but
yeah,
Juve went backwards, okay, because they were so Ronaldo reliance, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Before Ronaldo came, in the last 5 years, Juve made 2 Champions League finals. They won 9 Scudetti in a row, plus obviously domestic cups and stuff, and they went deep in every single Champions League. Since Ronaldo came, they never got past the quarterfinals. They just lost to this year to the 10 Scudetti to Inter. And, that's what I mean. So they were so reliant on Ronaldo. Yeah, it was great 100%. For them. But Juve as a team was better before Ronaldo came. It was great for marketing. It was great to have a legend like him. He still got his goals. But as a team, it didn't work. I do think Ronaldo coming into this team, he has a lot more quality around him for him to just finish the job.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, because I've obviously being a fellow Premier League rival, and we saw with great interest, where is he going to go? Is he going to go to City? What's it going to mean for the rest of the comp? But there was also some speculation that apparently his agent reached out to us as well for a bit of interest, and we didn't offer it, and basically said thanks but no thanks. So the fact that, is this one of those situations, and you saw the comments from Fab about City pulled out because they felt he wasn't the player for them, or, that's what they say on face value. Do you think this was one of those situations where he really wanted out of Juventus, which was quite clear? United was a nice narrative, but in all seriousness, did United represent the only realistic place he could go back to because nobody else really wanted to have him? Do you buy into any of that, or not really? Or
definitely not. Exactly. I agree with Borgie. It's a who couldn't afford him, mate. Okay, I'm sure anyone would want Cristiano Ronaldo, one of the 2 best players in the world. Just alone for his whole...
Is he one of the 2 best players now, though? Or
what is he? What do you reckon? What is he? No.
Well, look at his stats from last season. Is he in the Ballon d'Or conversation?
Two players that come up and have one and a half great seasons. You can't say that they're anywhere close to the caliber of Messi and Ronaldo. Okay,
but is he the best now, Rob? That's my question. Is Ronaldo the best now, or was he the best a few years ago?
Who's the best?
Well, currently, I'd say I'd rather take Haaland over him. I'd 100% say that, because he's.
So why didn't you guys get Haaland over Lukaku then?
Mate, they couldn't afford
because he's 50 million plus another 40 million for his agent, not 30 million plus 20.
Well, for 15 million, he's the best for me, and for the culture of United, mate. Why wouldn't it? Like I said, this is like the Glazers gone out and they went out and got Tom Brady for the Buccaneers. Mate, this is the exact same thing. They've gone out and they're bringing back one of our best players ever to try and give it that extra push. So for me, I don't care if no one was ever. I don't care if no other club was in for him, which I'd be crazy to think no one was in for Ronaldo. But we were just talking about this a couple of nights ago. I was emotionally, it would have been shuddered if he went to a City, for instance.
I was hoping for it, man. I wanted it so badly.
I know
you gave me absolute hell after Brentford. I said to you, Robbie, it's a long season. It'll come back. And when it does, I'm more smug than you are. I've just got nothing to be smug about. And I was hoping this would be, I dead set I was doing the Hail Mary praying for it. But unfortunately, she was listening to you this time.
And I need to answer this comment here from Tom, and obviously he's got his United hat on. Lukaku went for huge money. Ronaldo would have went for huge money too if he wasn't 36 and on the back end of his contract with Juventus. You think he's not on big money wage-wise? And Ronaldo's up there with the best. Is Ronaldo at 36 up there with the best in the Premier League this season and going forward? We'll have to see. I think it's more of a sentimental buy, but I agree he's still a top player. I think he's one of the best.
As a neutral in this, and because I hate both of your teams, all right? Quite frankly, I despise Chelsea and United, probably United slightly more. But I look at both those players and I think it's probably unfair for you boys to directly compare them in this sense, because Lukaku brings in a player who's long-term, okay, and that kind of matches in with your squad. You've got a really good core that's set up for longer-term success with, to me, a brilliant manager. So I think Lukaku is going to revolutionise Chelsea to a massive extent. But I also think if Ronaldo comes in with that leadership, he comes in as an ally to Solskjaer, who, by all accounts, is an absolutely lovely bloke, but is a terrible manager. If he comes in and supports him, you know that Ronaldo is going to bring goals. You know that he's going to bring presence. You know he's going to strike fear into even the most world-class defenders. So with Ronaldo, you're also getting the aura. And I agree that Lukaku's got a presence, but he doesn't have, pardon me, that's my sister. She wants to talk Lukaku. Sorry, boys. But he doesn't bring the presence that Ronaldo does. And even though Ronaldo's at the back end, I think they're both sensational. I wouldn't say one's here and one's here. Right now, I would say they're dead level. Lukaku is going to give you more value over the long term. Ronaldo has a presence that Lukaku is not going to have maybe for a couple of years. So as a neutral, that's where I'd kind of balance it, boys. But I don't know if you guys had anything you wanted to add on that, but we do have to talk about some of the knock-on effect too.
Absolutely. Yeah, look, I have a lot more to say, which could take hours on end, but I agree. I'm quite keen to see the chain impact on this and the rest of the league. So for me, him going there opens up some doors to other clubs trying to poach who's remaining in terms of strikers to bring in. So you saw Kane is staying at Spurs. Do we think that City now are just going to go meekly into the night and not go and break the bank for someone else? Because I'd be very surprised if they just sat there. Rob, what do you think?
Well, I don't know. Like, in terms of class quality players, who's left, honestly, for City to go in for now? Like, I'm not saying that they're not going to go in for anyone, but like I said, besides, like we were talking before, your Lewandowski, who I don't think will leave Bayern this late in the window, who else is that quality for them as a top team to go out and get and feel like they've got one of these top echelon strikers to make their statement?
To me, I think it's a flow-on effect with Haaland. I think the one thing this really messes up is now we know that Chelsea, hey, David, about time, mate. About time someone agrees with me on this show. I think now Chelsea obviously aren't going to be in for Haaland, although with that club, it wouldn't shock me. I think you guys, had you not signed Ronaldo now, I actually think you would have been right in that front running for Haaland next season. I know before the live stream, you were kind of arguing with me that you still think Haaland could be potentially a possibility, but I think when you look at the wages Ronaldo's on, again, he's another one, a bit like Mbappe. He'll want to be the star man, and he's not the star man if Haaland comes. And from there, it's just not worth the toxicity it could bring. I see now the flow-on effect of this, and it could be me with a longer-term prediction. I see now Haaland going to Man City next season. I can't see him at Chelsea. I can't see him at Liverpool. I can't see him at United with Cristiano Ronaldo, although stranger things have happened. But I think now this paves the way for Man City next season to sign him. But I don't know your thoughts on that, boys. Do you think either of your clubs are in for a shout? Robbie, I know you don't agree.
No, I agree to an extent. I think the shout for Haaland to City next year is definitely in with a shout. Like, why not? Like I said, we know that he's got his father played for City, number one. City will be looking to spend big, especially if they don't this season, and especially if they don't get the big one this season. For me, like I said, Cavani's got 1 year left. Okay, he's another big player in the team for experience-wise, but yes, he's only got 1 year left. He goes out. Ronaldo signed a 2-year contract this year and next year. Like, it doesn't always happen. There's sometimes it's going to be players like your Mason Greenwood, who is 19 years old. As I don't know how old's Haaland, 20? Very young.
Thereabouts.
Yeah. Sometimes when you see someone with a project, a really good project, yes, he wants to be the main man, but 1 year is not going to kill him. Okay. If he wants to, he might be able to be your top, and you still, that 1 year extra might be Ronaldo might not be starting every week. Okay. Because he's not going to play 60 games a year. I'm not saying we're going to get him, but I definitely think that I honestly think we'd be in with a shout next year. Okay. I think United now, from what our board says, every year we want to get a big marquee player now. That's their plan. And
your
I think
owner's main business.
Yes, and we have to, mate. because football is a business now, as RJ likes to say. And if you slow down, someone else is just going to continue to go and go and go. And it's like us now. How many years does it take to catch back up there? You have a couple good windows, but
look at us, mate. Mid-table mediocrity. Mediocrity.
If you want to lose, mate, you've got to stay with the Joneses the whole time, because every time they take another play up,
not the Phil Joneses, of course, Rob. Right?
Oh no! Don't even say that word to me.
Hey, did you see the breaking tweet? Did you see the breaking tweet from Fab? PSG confirmed double signing of Lewandowski and Haaland for 50 million combined.
Oh, wouldn't surprise me.
Fake news.
No, look, I had to wage in on that because I actually lean more to logic with Rob here. Like we talked about the forward attacking prowess of United, but some of those players are on the tail end of their careers, and I wouldn't be surprised, especially you highlighted Martial, but Cavani, Ronaldo's 36, he's not going to be playing week in, week out. And with the prowess of the United legacy and the pulling power they have, I wouldn't be surprised if they're well within a shout. And the same with City, of course, depending, obviously massive asterisks, if they get anyone big this season. But if they somehow, if they just go no striker because none's good, you've got to be naive to think they're not going to come back with some mega offer in January or at least at the end of the season. So I think next destination will be one of the Manchester clubs. But then again, let's look outside of the Premier League for a second with Mbappe apparently very close to joining Real Madrid. That does create a massive opening for PSG to enter the race. So this chain effect is something quite surreal this window.
Yeah, I just want to say, I want to pose to you guys and to the live chat. Been a lot of talk about it on Twitter and social media. Is this the most insane transfer window you have ever lived through? To me, I can't think of one that compares with this. We've seen the two pretty much generational talents, Ronaldo and Messi, go. We've seen, the Goliath that is Ben White come to Arsenal. There's just been huge moves, and I'm nervous that there's more to come. Europe's elite don't seem to be slowing down because of COVID. Whilst the transfer fees maybe aren't as exorbitant, and some still are, they're not slowing down in terms of wages. Is this the craziest transfer window you've ever seen?
I honestly don't think we'll ever see anything like this, man. We're lucky we've been in that generation to see some amazing history and record, and I definitely think this transfer window is going to be right up there with something that'll say, hey, we were around to witness this crazy, in the COVID year, everyone says it's going to be quiet, or no money generated, and this has been, okay, it hasn't been a lot of money considering all the frees that PSG got, but just the transfers that have happened has literally been like FIFA Ultimate Team. And, with Mbappe, I honestly think in the next 3 days, I think he'll end up at Real Madrid because he's coming out and I don't know what to stop it. And how can PSG say no to 170 million now when he's got 1 year left on his contract? That's just crazy. Okay, that's a statement they want to keep one of their best players, but the 170 million at the end of the day, and mate, it's not like they're not got quality in that team. They should walk the French league, and I'm sure if they really wanted to, I'm sure they can go out and throw some money at someone else on deadline day if they want to get another big player in, not that they need it.
Spot on, boys. Before, I know that you're going to talk about some of the transfers and the flow-on effect. Being the Arsenal fan on here, I know that there are no transfers coming from my club. Certainly not of this level of madness. So I am going to have to step out, but I know you boys will keep flying the flag. So it was nice to jump on and talk some football quickly. The absolute madness of Ronaldo, but...
Quick thoughts, Scott. Quick thoughts. Manchester City, Arsenal later tonight, 9:30. Has your mood changed at all, mate? Or are you just more doom and gloom?
No, mate. I feel even more depressed now. The only thing I had to look forward to this weekend was the fact that I thought Ronaldo was going to City and I could get Rob back for the hell he gave me. So, no. Look, but in saying that, closing thoughts on that one, because it's a beautiful kickoff time, which Arsenal notoriously struggle in. Anything can happen. And like I said, I was much more scared about playing Chelsea than I am about City. So, famous last words. But I don't think it'll be a blowout. I think we'll see a good game.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I'm actually going to wish you luck, Wargie, even though you've been trying to give it to me all day. I'd actually like to see, in the United, I'd like to see a draw would be nice, mate. A draw would be nice.
Your title contenders. I'm sure you'd love us to do you a favour. Anyway, boys, that's me done. But pleasure as always. Thanks to the live chat too.
Thanks,
We'll catch you on Tuesday, Scott. Thanks, mate.
See you.
Robbie, I've just brought up ESPN's just to contextualize it for our audience in terms of the chain effect of Ronaldo coming in, and more importantly, what does it mean for the rest of the remaining transfer window? So you've got, as it says here from ESPN, that PSG are targeting Lewandowski now or Haaland should Mbappe go to Real Madrid, as is increasingly likely. So what do you think about that in terms of PSG from a Champions League perspective if they were to get one or the other? Nice to have that choice, right?
100%. And look, if they were to get the funds, like I just said, I could definitely see him going in for a bid. I just think it's on the other side of the coin that I can't see Bayern accepting this late on. And yeah, I really think that Haaland will stay at Dortmund this year. Look, we can't say anything because anything can happen up until deadline day after the window we've seen. But yeah, I do say if Mbappe goes, I can see PSG going in for someone else. I don't think it'll be one of those two. We were talking before quickly. It could be someone like a Richarlison, who apparently is now.
What do you make of that? Like, I don't know, like that guy, just quickly on Richarlison, he's been one of those really frustrating players, hasn't he? Because for a few years you thought, geez, this guy's the talented, Brazilian, but I never really liked his, antics at times. I think he's a little bit of those really funny players that if he was representing my team and he's in form, you sort of want to get behind him. But as on the other side of the fence, you think, geez, this guy is just very annoying to watch.
I can't agree with you more, to be honest. But like I said, PSG have made a couple of those funny signings over the years. Who was it, like Chipper Modine they got from Stoke not long ago, and he's done a job. Adrissa Gay, like there's a few players that you go, whoa, where did that kind of come out from for PSG? So yeah, look, it's just maybe squad depth. He might not be a starter, but for him, that's for going from Everton and no European football to going to PSG and Champions League football if he was to get an offer. So look, we can't rule it out. Yeah, sorry, what were you saying?
No, I was just going to say, it's just on Everton quickly. I saw Fabrizio tweet a few hours ago about Porto's Luis Diaz and obviously Rodriguez maybe going in the opposite direction. Any quick thoughts on that sort of speculation?
Yeah, I think it could happen. James Rodriguez doesn't really look interested in Everton at the moment. I think the other day someone interviewed him and he didn't even know who Everton was playing. And when I only just seen that today as well. Porto, mate, look, that's one of the original clubs he came for. I think he won the Europa League maybe back in the day with Porto, whatever it was. So yeah, good luck to him to see. I'm sure Everton's not going to want to keep players that don't want to be there. So if it's going to work out for both teams, why not? I think the other one, just quickly on the Juve, it'll be interesting to see who Juve go in for as a Ronaldo replacement, because they've come out and said we want to go out. I think Moise Kean from Everton will be their main person they're going to go in for, who was previously at Juventus. But I've seen Hazard's name came up as well. Hazard, which
potential loan.
Yeah, a bit of a weird one, but I think Moise Kean, I think that'll happen to Juve. But yeah, the Hazard one was a bit of a random one.
Yeah, speaking of Hazard and obviously the nostalgia of Ronaldo going back to United, which is obviously dominating the headlines as it should be, because what a sensational return that was. But there's also been talk in the Chelsea community, potentially would they consider taking someone like Hazard back for a similar value. But as I've sort of said to a few friends online and just general chit-chatter regarding Chelsea and their prospects, is I think the horse has really bolted with him. And the reality is Ronaldo is still performing up here. Hazard, to no fault of his own through injury, probably all the fouls he's copped over the years in the Premier League, is now around here. So for him, it's just about regaining confidence, form and fitness, hopefully staying at Madrid and maybe proving something to himself regarding the club that he's so long championed to go because it was his dream. Look, for me, obviously I'm an Inter fan, as you know, and those on the chat can see. I reckon it would be quite interesting to see him at Juventus, but I'm just not sure if it's a good fit for both parties. It would be very intriguing if it was to happen, but I've got to say on the likelihood pedometer, it would be unlikely to possible if you want to call it that. And just on the Chelsea theme, I know specifically we're honing in on bringing Jules Koundé in from Seville. That's really heating up with Kurt Zouma apparently passing his medical for West Ham.
Yep.
For me, if we can get Koundé in, that really sharpens that defence from already being great to even the next level and preparing for the medium to long term. But for me, like United, I think we're both a little bit exposed in that centre area. And I think one of our clubs is going to get either Saw or Chouameni. I just don't know which one. But either club that gets them, I think is going to improve their chances a lot for this season's Premier League charge.
Yeah, I agree, man. But look, if I have to be honest, I actually think, especially in that midfield, I think Chelsea will go in, and that look at the moment it's sounding like both of those players, like we'll say, at least and Koundé, they look like they are heading towards Chelsea. For us, look, I said it could be. I think we could maybe make a late charge for Ruben Neves, which has been like he's been up and down. You know, early on in the transfer window, his name got linked to us, and then it quieted down, but. Obviously, now it's going to heat up again with the whole Portuguese connection. Ronaldo, Bruno Fernandes. We need someone to come in there. But if not, like I said, we can't complain about our window, man. Like I said, what Borgie said, it's only one spot, but it's an important spot for me that needs to be addressed. So we can only see what happens in the final days.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a frantic final few days of the transfer window, and I'm quite keen to see, obviously, from our two clubs and what the rest of our rivals do, because I think it's only really at that point will we get a better sense of which clubs and their squads, how strong they really are. Because at this stage, you know, for example, we look at City, and Scott made the comment about United have a stronger squad at this point in time. But can you imagine dramatically City came in with some really over-the-top offer and did somehow persuade Kane to come in? All of a sudden, they would, you know, jump right up the top for me in terms of becoming clear favourites again, because that's the only area of the pitch where they are lacking a little bit. So until that transfer window closes, it's a little bit of a grey area as to comment who's a genuine title favourite, not just from a quality point of view, but from a depth point of view. And I think that's where we traditionally have struggled, because our first 11 is quite formidable, but we've done really good business over this window to make sure that we have genuine competition and depth, especially because we've got African Cup of Nations as well that we've got to consider the effects of that.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. And like I said as well, like it's just I'm surprised Liverpool haven't gone in. Well, there's no one really linked to Liverpool, and that's the thing that I think City, Chelsea, and United have over Liverpool this year, the depth. Because, like I said, especially with your African nations, they're going to lose your Salah, they're going to use your Mane, they're going to lose one of their midfielders as well. So for them, they're going to be quite light. And you know what Klopp's like? He likes the same 11 nearly every single week. And that team can only go so far when you're playing 50, 60 games a week, so a year. So, yeah, I do think that's one of the positives for our team is the depth. That's one thing. You need depth to win a title and to push on for big honours. And I definitely think those three teams have them quite in doubt.
Yeah, just in terms of looking back on the on-field action for the upcoming Premier League games, and of course we like to dabble in our FPL, and we talk about it on our Tuesday and Thursday shows. For those who are unaware, we on Tuesday night talk about the action that was over the weekend, and Thursday is a forward-looking show about the week that's coming up. Now, just quickly in FPL, Rob, Ronaldo's back. Does he get a looking into your team?
Well, firstly, it'll be interesting to see if they list him as a midfielder or a forward. I personally think he will be as a forward. And yeah, no, I won't be putting him in my team, man. Like I said, he'll probably come in as a minimum 12-5. He'll come in as at least the most expensive player in the competition. And I think the thing that could hinder is for Bruno, mate, because we don't know what's going to happen with Bruno. I think a lot of people.
No more penalties, mate. His value is going to plummet.
No, I don't know. It's just we don't know exactly who's going to be on penalties, who's going to be on set pieces. That's a big thing. Like for an FPL person, like he could come in, and it's not that everyone's going to jump on Ronaldo, but a lot of people could jump off the Bruno wagon just because he's not going to have so much of the responsibilities of the team anymore. Possibly, I don't know. That's one thing. That's one thing I do hope. We're talking about management before with Ollie. I hope that he manages that properly because, like I said, Bruno has been our talisman at the moment. Yes, Ronaldo's come in, and I hope they have a great relationship. But I hope it doesn't get something like, okay, Ronaldo, you're doing this, you're doing this, you're doing this. You know, for me, if I had to pick, I'd keep Bruno on set pieces. To be honest, Ronaldo's free kick.
I agree.
Ronaldo's free kick.
No, I was just going to say I agree with you on that because A, he's in form, and B, he's someone, in my opinion, that's going to more likely be on the field for longer. So he has a he has a more of a rhythm and a feel for the game. Whereas if Ronaldo's coming in sparingly, is it really right to sort of assign him that responsibility? But who knows?
Yeah, well, like I said, for free kicks is the main thing. I think actually in this point, I think, like I said, the form goes with Bruno in free kicks and set pieces and stuff like that. Penalties, I could see someone like a Bruno kind of as a respect thing, saying, hey, you know, obviously both Portuguese teammates, he knows the caliber of Ronaldo. I could see him saying, hey, take the penalty, something like that. But for me personally, I'd like to see Bruno stay on set pieces. I just want Ronaldo in that number 9 in the box to kind of finish off all the chances this time. And like, especially aerial, he's such a great aerial threat.
Yeah, no, it's going to be very exciting. And like we said, for us down here in Australia, it starts off at 9:30 p.m. tonight and tickling all the way through to me to about 4:30 a.m. where Chelsea take on Liverpool, of course. Robbie, I know you'll be up for another marathon night, as you always like to do, mate. You're one of us. We're survivors. But no, I can't wait for it, mate. It's going to be such a great action. We've talked about the key transfer movements overnight, but again, thanks to our live chat, you've really helped us, you know, stimulate this discussion. As Tom said before, great debate, because that's why we're here, and that's why the three of us, Scott, Rob, and I, we do this, because 3 rival teams, 3 different sets of viewpoints, and ultimately it's just about sharing them in a respectful way and trying to give each other a bit of insight or perspective. But Rob, any final words before we close this one out?
As usual, mate, wrapped up beautiful. Like I said, I'm beaming. I can't wait for the football to start tonight. For me, as a United fan, I've got to wait all the way to 1:30 Monday morning. And also international break, mate. You know me, we love our international break, but couldn't have come at a worse time, mate. I'm so pumped for that return. I think we've got Newcastle at Old
No
Trafford.
Injuries, Robbie. No injuries, please.
I know. Wrap them up in cotton wool, mate. But look, boys, we can only see what's in front of us. Let's have a good week, and everyone out there, stay safe and enjoy the football.
Beautifully said. Thanks again, guys. Take care, and we'll catch you next time.
Ciao.